Did you know that over 126 billion cubic meters of water are lost annually due to leaks in distribution systems worldwide? This amount is sufficient to supply nearly 90 million people with water for an entire year. Hello, listeners, and welcome to H2O and Beyond. I'm Alex Hahn, and each week we dive into the science, systems, and stories behind the water we use every day. In this episode, we're going to be exploring a problem that quietly wastes billions of gallons of clean water every day: water leaks in our pipes and systems. Let's dive in. First off, what do we mean by water leaks? There are two main classifications of water leaks. We have visible leaks like water spraying from a broken fire hydrant or puddles on the street, and invisible or underground leaks where water seeps slowly through cracks, sometimes for months or years without anyone noticing. Both of these contribute to what is known as non-revenue water, a term to describe water treated by a supplier that doesn't generate revenue. The national average for leaks in the water system is 14%. However, in older cities such as Detroit, some enclaves report a loss of 70%. Globally, these leaks have an economic value of $3 billion per year, and this is no small issue. The number one cause of these leaks is aging infrastructure. Many water systems are decades or even over a century old. In cities like Boston, New York, and Philadelphia, you can still find cast iron pipes that were installed in the late 1800s or early 1900s. Many of these pipes were not meant to last this long. And what happens to materials like iron over time is they rust and corrode. When this happens, the pipes start to become brittle and fall apart. Age isn't the only reason for causing leaks, though. Here are a few others. First up is soil corrosion. In Washington, D.C., for example, corrosive soil in certain neighborhoods, especially those with high clay content and acidic pH, were accelerating the deterioration of cast iron water mains. Here's a fun fact. According to the Association for Materials Protection and Performance, corrosion-related water main breaks cost U.S. utilities over $80 billion annually. Next up is freeze-thaw cycles, especially in cities with a colder climate. This is pretty self-explanatory, but essentially when water inside a pipe freezes, it expands. And when the water thaws, the pipe returns to its original state. This back and forth motion stresses the pipe out repeatedly, weakening it over time. Just a few months ago, if you guys remember seeing this on the news, in February of 2025, a 54-inch steel water main built in the 1930s in Detroit burst, flooding over 200 homes. Keep in mind, this was during the winter, causing the entire street and cars to be frozen in ice. Over time, these factors all add up, contributing to the average of 240,000 water main breaks per year that we see in the US. But here's the bigger question. Why does any of this really matter? After all, aside from the occasional giant water leak, a small leak underground doesn't seem like a big deal. But up next, we'll talk about why these leaks are a much bigger problem than they seem, and why fixing them should be a top priority for cities and communities everywhere. Okay, so water leaks. Annoying, right? But why is this such a big deal? First off, there's the obvious: wasted water. At a time when water scarcity is becoming more and more serious, that's no small problem. And with this lost water comes lost revenue for utilities, and those losses eventually show up on your water bill. In fact, according to the American Water Works Association, the average American household pays for 14% more water than it actually uses, just because of inefficiencies in the system. And let's talk about the disruptions that a broken water main can cause. A single burst can leave thousands without water for days, damage homes and properties, and lead to emergency repairs that cost tens or hundreds of thousands of dollars. On the environmental side, these leaking pipes undermine sustainability. Every gallon that leaks out is a gallon that could have gone to drinking, farming, or sustaining natural ecosystems. In drought-prone states like California or Arizona, water lost to leaks could help relieve stress on rivers and reservoirs. Plus, the energy used to treat and pump water accounts for up to 4% of total US electricity consumption. So when we lose water, we also waste energy and increase our carbon emissions. So now that you have an idea of how these water leaks impact you, let's talk about what we can actually do about them. Here's the good news. Cities and utilities across the country are starting to take leaks seriously. The bad news is there's still a long way to go. You can't fix a leak if you don't know it exists. That's why leak detection is one of the biggest focus areas right now, and it's getting more advanced. Traditionally, utilities found leaks by waiting for pipes to break, relying on customer complaints, or using acoustic listening devices. Now, cities are deploying smart water meters, pressure loggers, and even AI-powered analytics that can detect pressure drops, flow inconsistencies, or even the sound of water escaping underground. Let's take a look at each of those technologies. Smart water meters measure water usage in real time and transmit data wirelessly to the utility company. They can detect abnormal usage patterns, helping spot leaks at the household or neighborhood level. For example, Charlotte, North Carolina is looking to replace 270,000 of its old water meters with smart ones that send updates on water usage every 15 minutes. This allows people to identify leaks earlier. Similar to a smart water meter, a pressure logger is a compact, battery-powered device installed at various points within a water distribution network. So what it does is it records pressure readings at set intervals and sends this data to the utility company. Sudden drops or irregular patterns in pressure can signal potential leaks or bursts. In the town of Splendora, Texas, they were struggling with water loss of 30%. After installing pressure loggers, however, utilities were able to pinpoint the location of some of these leaks and reduce water loss to 15%, saving them $170,000 annually. And finally, AI is making its way into leak detection as well. What these AI-powered systems do is they analyze huge amounts of data from meters, sensors, and historical trends. The system can predict where leaks are likely to happen, detect the location of current leaks, and optimize repair schedules. You'll see what I mean by optimizing repair schedules in the example I'm about to give. So, Singapore is a global leader in utilizing AI in the water industry. The city uses what it calls its Anomaly Leak Finder, or ALF system, that is able to detect and pinpoint anomalies like leaks and pipe bursts with an 84% accuracy rate. This shifts surveillance of the pipe network from a manually powered one where workers have to physically sift through the network to find anomalies to a data-driven form, making resolving issues much more efficient. And this is exactly what I mean by optimizing repair schedules. It's tiring to have to manually sift through the maze of water pipes throughout a city to check for leaks. But with the help of sensors and AI technologies, it makes the process much more efficient. With all this technology and innovation, from smart sensors to AI-powered leak detection, the water industry is hard at work ensuring a sustainable future for all. However, these tools only work if we invest in them. Cities and utilities need the funding, political will, and public awareness to make leak detection a top priority. Water leaks may feel like a problem too big to tackle, but there are things that we can all do. If you're a homeowner or renter, consider checking your water bill for sudden spikes. It could signal a hidden leak. You should also periodically check your faucets, toilets, and outdoor hoses for drips. And finally, don't hesitate to report any street leaks, hydrant issues, or soggy patches on public land to your local water utility. Many cities have hotlines just for this purpose. If you're in a position to advocate, consider encouraging your local leaders to invest in modern leak detection technology. Every drop saved matters. If you found this episode helpful, please share it with your coworkers and friends. Feel free to drop some episode suggestions and feedback in the Google form linked in the description as well. I'm Alex. Thanks for listening to H2O and Beyond. Stay curious and stay hydrated.